We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set. All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He finds an opening past the 40. And now look at him go. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. The very first play from scrimmage, how about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. A tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Good jumbo. Good jumbo. Good jumbo. All right.
Now Wilson on first down. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. Over the middle, Jerron Brown's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Brendan Langley picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll toss it to Breida. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back, and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again. And instead, it works opposite.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They run with Breida. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now they try the right side here. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot
best.
on the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Fellas, here we go. 11, 21.
Snap comes at 1. Garoppolo. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. A tackle that time by Akello Witherspoon.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Let's get it.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. They go play action with Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They go play action here on 1st down. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Thomas. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
12.
Play action, Garoppolo. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
95.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas. Right. 14.
From the gun, Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on, a big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
13. Go ahead. 11.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
6. 11. 21. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike. 11.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
21.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11, 11.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here we go. 180.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
11, 11. 11. Go ahead.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
On 1st down, Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's able to get up here to the 26. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now Wilson operating from the gun. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
To throw is Wilson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Wilson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Solomon Thomas. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable for Thomas. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On first down, Garoppolo. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gonzalez puts this one through. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Right, 19.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Wilson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Now Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left. Roll him out, bootleg him, do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Completes it to Dixon. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. And Dixon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And at 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Garoppolo on 1st down. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
And he's into the clear. Touchdown, 49ers. Cody Core, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah.
Check 50, check 50.
They go play action now. Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete as well.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Throwing again here, Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now Wilson on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now they'll run on the draw. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Wilson steps away, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Just keeping the play alive. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on third and goal. Here's Wilson to throw. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. So now a two-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Throwing is Wilson. Dancing to his, feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and they end up getting sacked.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Go ahead. 11, 11. 11, 11. 11, 11. 21, 21. Here we go.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Barkevious Mingo coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
11, 11. 21, 21. 12, fellas. Here we go.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And the pressure gets to him again. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
13,
So the sack
13.
of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
21, 21.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Eluding the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Cut. 380. Cut. 380. Cut.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now it's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Baldwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. From the gun, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is going to be 49er football. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Black 20, Black 80.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep. Middle of... Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Niners. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The Seahawks were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, more than 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15. Wilson now, operating from the gun. Baldwin with it over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Wilson to throw on third down. He finds his man, Baldwin. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Second and 10 now. Wilson escaping the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Wilson. And the tight end, Dixon, left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He gets it to Baldwin. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson throwing again. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Wilson on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for San Francisco, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
You